Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Michael from No Shelf Control, and today we're going to be discussing some Black Series news out of San Diego Comic Con. We're not usually an action figure news channel, but there was a lot this weekend, like a lot. And a lot of it was good, and some of it was really bad. Like, extremes on both ends for the Black Series, for sure. I know a lot of people are busy, and if you're not like a hardcore, diehard collector, then you probably missed a lot of the stuff. So we're just going to start right at the beginning. Everything started on the 22nd of July, which was Wednesday, on Sith Lord 229's YouTube channel. These guys do awesome stuff. They have a live stream that they do. They also in the past have done some figure reviews. They're really great. You should check them out. But they were given the opportunity to partner with Hasbro for an exclusive reveal. Problem is, that reveal wasn't well received, to say the very least. So the guys were brutally honest and in a very, very positive and kind way. Really, they showed a lot of integrity, a lot of respect for these dudes. But the offering just isn't enticing. It's a lot of reuse. It's combinations that don't make sense, like pauldrons that you wouldn't see on a clone trooper without other parts that they're not giving us, weapon choices that just don't make sense. So I will say that during the stream, Brandon from the Hasbro team, he is the one who does marketing, and he is kind of the face of the team a lot of the time. So he actually hopped on while they were doing the reveal and provided some extra context and helped people understand what they were going for. I'm not going to get into all that here, but definitely check out their channel. So that was Wednesday. Things continued to get complicated on Thursday. So at the Hasbro press breakfast, there were some toy YouTubers there who were kind enough to share some Instagram photos. One of the things they showed off was this role play item. It is a helmet of Captain Enoch from the Ahsoka series. So that was really cool. It's going to be a pass for me, but for anybody who is really into this look, I'm happy that you're going to be able to get it. It's going to retail for, I believe, $109. We were also shown a thermal detonator prop. This thing was really, really cool. On Mr. Stevie's Instagram account, he shared on his stories what it sounds like and what it looks like when it's lighting up. And this is actually one that I'm going to pick up. I believe this one's going to be in the $43 to $45 range, if I remember correctly. So that's super exciting. And if I'm being honest, I want to see more of stuff like that. Like, I love getting helmets, I love getting lightsabers, but there's only so much space. And I think there's a lot they can do that would be very shelf-friendly, which also then means it's very budget-friendly. So, like, we're getting a thermal detonator, it'd be cool to see a holocron, or the little training remote that Luke has that can make some sounds or something like that. This is where I started to get upset. We were shown an Embo and Kaibo 2-pack. So when Embo was released, if you picked him up, you'll know that he has a plastic skirt piece, and that really hindered articulation, and that was one of my gripes with it. I mentioned it in my King video, which you should definitely go check out. I'll leave a little card at the end of this video for that. But I remember thinking it would have been better with a soft goods skirt, and we were shown this 2-pack that will retail for, there's some confusion on the pricing. Some people say $60, which was what it said in some of the marketing material, but then there were some reports that said it would be in the 40s something. So either way, I think this is an awesome figure, and it sucks that we're not talking about how awesome it is that we have this articulating dog with a better Embo figure, because that was a real shitty move. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat anything. That, to give us a 2-pack that they know we're going to want after a month after we already bought, some people, I bought 2. I bought a first edition one to keep in box, and I bought one to keep out of the box. And now they're going to give us a better version of that. Like, that's just deceptive. They knew what they were doing. It's, unfortunately, I'm not blaming the Hasbro, the Black Series team, because, you know, I know a lot of them don't make those kinds of decisions, but for the people above them, on Friday, which felt like it took forever to get here, the Star Wars teams had their panels. You're going to make a lot of people very, very angry. On Friday, the Black Series team and Vintage Collection teams had their panel. So the Black Series started things off by revealing a new roleplay item, Clone Commander Jesse's helmet. So this thing is going to retail for $109.99. It's not going to be for me, but if you're into clone helmets, especially unique clone helmets, this is going to be right up your alley. It looks fantastic. And pre-orders will be on August 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The next thing they showed off was a new Clones of the Republic 2-pack. I kind of dig these packs. Some of them are great, some of them are okay. This, I think, is going to be one of the better ones. So we get an updated Clone Commander Jesse. His helmet was inaccurate in the last one, so they corrected that issue with the current one. The real thing that I'm excited about, though, is the Ahsoka. So that Clone Wars Ahsoka is... like, the Season 7 Ahsoka look is my favorite look for her. It's definitely, like, the look that drew me into the Clone Wars. I wasn't really that into it until I saw Season 7 and how awesome that Siege of Mandalore arc was. And ever since then, it's just, like, that's my preferred look for Ahsoka. It's wrong, though, in the version that we have right now. It's more her Rebels look. And that Rebels figure sucked, and because there was a lot of reuse from that, the Clone Wars figure also sucked. So it's going to be really great to have an updated version of that. So we get updated legs, it looks like some updated paint deco. I'm really excited to see how this compares to the Clone Wars version that we currently have. Next up, we have Rot of the Hutt. This was also shown during the breakfast. It wasn't intentional, I don't think. I could be wrong, but I think this was just leaked. They went into more detail at the panel, and this is, I'm so excited for this. So he is fully posable, super dynamic. He includes 2 of his axes and 2 of his swords and an extra pair of hands. So he'll have a pair of open hands or closed hands. I also want to point out that one of the swords is broken. He also has butterfly joints, so he'll be able to get into some really good poses with his weapons. He also has a bendy tail. So there are videos on YouTube of Eric, who is in charge of design on the Hasbro team, bending this tail like crazy, like to the point where you'd think he was going to break it, and it was completely posable. It looks fantastic. The paint is amazing. The jaw is articulated and opens, and everything inside is painted. He also, believe it or not, this is a first for the Black Series, but movable eyes. Like, each of the eyes are articulated, so you're going to be able to get some Hot Toys action on this Rot of the Hutt. So, really excited for him. He's going to be about, I think he's $80, and he's going to go up for pre-order on the 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern on Hasbro Pulse and other participating retailers. And then they got into their mainline wave. So they started off with Maul Shadow Lord by giving us Marok. So this is as he appears in Maul Shadow Lord, and he looks awesome. He's a big improvement from the Ahsoka version that we got a few years back. That version just had a ton of extra weathering on it that, I appreciate the attempt, but it just didn't land. So I imagine that this is all the same tooling. I don't see any massive differences that jump out, so it's just going to be some updated paint deco. The big thing is, though, is that the Ahsoka version goes for a pretty penny on the aftermarket, so it's definitely creeped up there over the years. So now people who missed out the first time, you're going to have the opportunity to grab this at retail. Keeping in line with Maul Shadow Lord, the next figure they revealed is the Mandalorian Super Commando Kebris, or Kebris? I don't really know how to pronounce it. Either way, he looks sick. He is on an updated Mandalorian body. He has a removable helmet. In this case, I don't really mind it. I think it'll be cool. He might be one I might end up grabbing 2 of, because you could display one with the helmet, and he's just that regular Mandalorian Super Commando, and then you have your named character to go along with it. They made it a point to say that the body could be reused for future releases, so keep that in mind. And if the first 2 releases weren't exciting enough, we get a third from Maul Shadow Lord. So the third reveal in the next mainline wave is going to be Icarus. So this is the other Zabrak that is seen with Maul in the show. He is so cool looking. And I think he's going to look really, really great standing next to Maul and the Inquisitors on my shelf. He comes with the rotary cannon, so it's really awesome to see Hasbro already putting this to good use. He's got some incredible articulation by the looks of it. He's going to be able to get into some really great poses. I'm really excited to get this one in hand. I'm also really pumped because it looks like you can either have him with his scarf up or down, so you're going to be able to get multiple looks for this guy. This next reveal is one that I never in a million years would have guessed. Mother Talzin from the Clone Wars. This is one of those figures that will change my shelf. What I mean by that is I'm going to want to build around her. So I'll probably end up picking up a second Icarus because you can have an extra look of him to put next to her, even though he's not really from the Clone Wars. But I'll have her with my Clone Wars Maul and my Savage. Like, I'm going to be rearranging my shelf to accommodate this figure because it's that cool looking. She comes with a green translucent magic effect, and then she also comes with the sword of Talzin, I think it's called, and that also has a green magic effect. So this is going to look sick. I'm really excited to get this one in hand. There's some reuse going on, but it looks like it's going to be covered by this material, which looks to be a mix of plastic and soft goods. The paint details look really fantastic, so I'm excited to get this one in hand as well. As I mentioned, they made it a point to note that they may use that Mandalorian body, and they were not kidding. Again, another one out of left field, but Gar Saxon from the Clone Wars. This is one that I personally have wanted for a very long time, and it looks like it's gonna be maybe a home run. I don't want to like jinx anything, but the yellow on the visor, so bright and vibrant, and it just pops against the deep red on the helmet. I love the way this thing looks, and I'm just so pumped to have it. At that point, you would have thought that the panel was done, but Brandon did the Steve Jobs thing and gave us the one more thing. And then they hit us with a twofer. So I'll talk about the figure first. We are getting a first look at Queen Amidala as she appears in The Phantom Menace, in that first time we see her in the throne room. She's gorgeous. Like, I have thought a lot about how they would go about doing a figure like this, and it looks like they're using a combination of soft goods and sculpted plastic. It looks like they're using it very, very well. I saw an interview on YouTube somewhere about where they were asking about the process behind it, and Eric was talking about how they were able to use techniques that they used in Shakti in order to make this figure a reality. And it just shows how great of a synergy they have with the current team and how they can really pull from old product and methods and like learn from old techniques. Like, if this is what they're building on from figures that we've already gotten, I can't even fathom what we're going to see, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now with this line. And that brings me to the packaging. So the other thing they revealed is that it's going to be all new packaging for Black Series going forward. So few things going on here that personally has me very, very excited. The one thing is that they got that little hint of orange on the front going, I think, onto the side there. And it's reminiscent of the original orange line. And I love that little nod, and it, frankly, at this point, nostalgia, because the line has been going for coming up on 15 years. So that's the first thing. The other thing, they show the media at the top of the box, and I don't know what it is, but having consistent branding it scratches like an itch that I really didn't know I had, where it's just everything's so consistent. So when you go on Disney Plus, and you look at all of the entire library of movies, all of the titles are going to be in that same style. So our figures are going to reflect that. And then if you notice on the box, there's no renders of the figure. It's just the figure. So on the box, we are going to see what's inside of the box. And that's awesome. Like, they put a lot of work into these figures, like a lot of work. Years. Like, imagine working 2 years on a figure and then finally getting to show it, and it's inside of a box with an AI generated image of it. Like, no, you worked really hard on that. Show it. And that's what they're doing. I love that. Finally, what has me really excited is that on the back of the box, they're going to be showing all of the figures that are going to come in the wave. And I love that. Like, you should be able to pick a figure off of a peg or a shelf and look at what else is out there so you can continue like looking for it. I love that aspect of it. So the other thing is that I think this packaging is meant to be very symbolic of a new direction that Hasbro Star Wars lines are going to be taking moving forward. They've already shown that roleplay is no longer going to be branded under Black Series. It might still be related to it somehow, but it has its own name now, and that's another change. And there's other interviews out there where they talk a lot about using new tooling as often as possible, and that just because we see it once or twice doesn't mean that it's never going to be updated again. So I just think that the team, like I said before, they seem to have a very good synergy. And I, for one, with what we've seen so far in 2026, am beyond excited about the quality of figures, both in terms of the figure itself and the selection and variety. Eric talked a lot about variety and wanting to make sure that there was something for everyone. Overall, I'm incredibly excited about the future of the Black Series, the direction the line is taking, the people that are behind it. I have a ton of faith in the current team. I think that they bring a level of passion to the line that we just haven't seen before. And I think that now that we're a couple years in, we're starting to really see the fruits of that dynamic. So that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm definitely going to be doing some more Black Series content. I have a few really fun ideas. I'm really excited to work on them. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.